What's going on, everybody? I'm Business01 here with Discount Gaming, and I've been making a lot more videos recently, and there's one that I've wanted to do for a while, so I finally decided to sit down and do it, and I know it's going to bring me a lot of heat, both from my personal circle of friends as well as probably a decent number of people on the interwebs, and it is my top anime that I think are completely overrated. Um, there's a lot of anime out there. There's a lot of great anime out there. Some of it I think has been so hyped to the point where I just don't want to watch it. Now, some of these I have watched, and they've been so meh to me. Either I've just not finished them, or they just really haven't left a lasting mark on me. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. And before we do, guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell so that you know every time something new comes out. But without further ado, let's get into this. All right. So first on my list, I have Attack on Titan. Couldn't get into it. I just could not get into it. I know that this is one of those where it's like, oh, make it past the first like 4 episodes and it gets better. And it does, but for me it was one of those where it wasn't good enough to leave a lasting impression on me, so I gave it up like mid early season 2ish, and I just have no desire to pick it back up. I know that there's a lot of people that really adore this anime, and to each their own, by all means. But for me, this was an anime where, like, I wanted it to be so much better. The only thing in this anime that really got any kind of good hype from me was the Armor Titan in season 1 when they sieged the castle. But past that, I mean, there was nothing memorable about it. Like, the fight scenes weren't anything epic or crazy. There were no huge plot twists or even memorable characters for me. So this one unfortunately had to kind of go in the bye-bye pile for me. It wasn't my thing. And up next we have Bleach. Um I kind of have a love-hate relationship when it comes to this anime. Um when it started out, it was really cool. I really enjoyed this. I'm not going to lie. Um decent character development, decent fight scenes, and it's like the longer the season went on, the better it got. But it got to the point with me where it wasn't the Goku button where, oh, the main hero comes across a challenge, he gets beat, he gets stronger, he beats the challenge. It just got to the point where Ichigo got so strong, that he was ripping the fabric of time and space wherever he was. And at that point, it's like, why? Like, why even get to that point? Um, you know, the some of the movies were great. The fight between Ichigo and Ukiota was one of the best anime fight scenes I've ever seen in my life. But I am talking about the movie version of the fight, not the TV show version. And there is a very significant difference. But this for me was one of those, like, it went on way too long. There wasn't enough to keep me interested in it, and it just got to the point where the main character was so OP, like, there was no point in even having the show continue anymore, at least for me. Up next, we have one that's going to get me a lot of shit from a lot of people that I know. Dragon Ball Z. The only thing in this show that made me like want to keep watching it, because I did watch this one all the way through. I'm not gonna lie. I have seen all of the original Dragon Ball. I've seen all of Z. I've seen all of GT, and it's one of those, like, I wanted to know what the hype was. But it's nothing special for me. The only cool thing in all of this was Vegeta. Like, Vegeta's my boy, but if they, like, honestly, if they gave him like his own 12 episode series, I could totally watch that and trash the rest of it, never be phased. Some of the movies weren't bad. Resurrection F, Resurrection C, Brawley, like those three movies were pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but the rest of it was just, it was like watching just a giant filler series. Like it was nothing special. There was nothing memorable, and for me, this was okay at best. All right, guys. Up next on our list, we have Demon Slayer. Um, this one was held by a ton of people when it came out to be one of the best animes of the time. To tell you the truth, I didn't care. Like I really didn't. I tried to sit down because it's kind of a general rule. If I'm watching a new anime, I will sit down and watch a minimum of 5 episodes. If you can't hook me in 5 episodes, it's not gonna happen. It just isn't gonna. And this was one of those, like, it I didn't care. I didn't care about, the main characters. I didn't care about the villains. I didn't care about the plot. It was just meh at best. I will give it, the art in this anime is some of the best I've ever seen. It's got some of the most beautifully animated scenes. The character design is incredible. The color palettes they use are phenomenal. But when it comes to the anime as a whole, with everything thrown in the big mixing pot, along with the plot and the storylines and the fights and everything like that, I just didn't fucking care. I really didn't. And it got to the point where, I even got tired of people asking me, "Oh man, hey, did you watch Demon Slayer?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I tried to, and it fucking sucked." You know, overhyped, totally overhyped. All right, guys. Next on our list, we have an anime that kind of has a love-hate relationship with me, and that would be Sword Art Online. Um, I did watch it in its entirety. Personally, I think it has 4 seasons, even though in actuality, I think it only has like two. I haven't watched like Alicization or any of the other shit. Like, I just watched Sword Art Online, Elfheim, whatever the gun one, and the one after that. I I I loved the series. I will say that I loved the concept of this series. I loved a lot of the characters in it. The fight scenes were meh, but overall, I think that this was a good anime. Not fantastic, not great, good. The reason I say good is because of the main character. Kirito is one of those characters, like, yes, he has his moments, but it's not enough moments to really give him that badass motherfucker badge that a hero should have at the end of the day. And granted, not all heroes are going to have that right out of the gate. Some of them have to build up to it. Some of them, obtain it at the end of it. But he never did. He only had like one or two instances where he did something and it was like, holy shit, like, okay, that's fucking dope. I will give it that it's one of the greatest romance animes that I've seen in a very long time. I think that the overall love story that carries across all 4 seasons is phenomenal, and it really tugs at the heartstrings. But it's it's because of the interactions between the main character, and I'm not talking Kirito, but the main character and Asuna's character. It was good, but it wasn't all that. Alrighty, guys. Up next, we have Blue Exorcist. This, for me, was an anime where I wanted this anime to be so good. It started off incredible. It started off with a plot line and a story and characters that should have taken this anime to just astronomical heights. It had the entire formula in abundance that should have just carried this thing all the way to the top. But I got about halfway through it and then it maybe 2/3 of the way through it, either way, and it really started to seem like, whoever was doing the writing or directing it or producing it, maybe, I'm not sure, but they just kicked everything into high gear, and it really kind of threw it off the tracks, because then it wasn't, oh, watch the next episode to see what happens, or make sure you pay attention to catch details, or stuff that happened in somebody's background. It was just like, hey, we're going to explain whatever this is in like 3 seconds, and if you don't catch it, well, sucks to be you, because we're never going to talk about it again. And I think that really, really killed this for me. So I finished most of it just because I really wanted it to get better. I really wanted to see this thing just really, hammer down and just drive itself home. And it got to the point where I just lost interest. Like, it was moving so fast. It was moving too fast for its own good. I think that's really what it was. I really wanted the characters to be fleshed out more. I wanted the story to be explained a little bit more. I wanted to see better bad guys. Like, I wanted so much more from this anime. And I think that whoever made the decision to go like 3 or 4 times the narrator speed, if you will, I think that they really, really kind of shot themselves in the foot with this. So while I think that it had the capacity to be an absolutely epic anime, I think that it's incredibly overhyped, because there are parts of it that are pretty epic, but as a whole, it's on its face. Like, it's running after a train, kicks a rock, slides on its face for the next half mile, and that's about where it stays. Alright, guys, up next we have an anime that for a while there, I'm going to be completely honest, I was so fucking tired of hearing about. Black Butler. I had heard from so many people that this anime was just incredible. It was one of the best you'll ever see. It had the best this and the best this, and oh, this was so epic. I was like, all right, you know, like usual, I don't normally take recommendations. Um, I'm a huge stickler when it comes to mainstream anime. Um, but I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'll try it. I have never been so goddamn bored in my fucking life. I followed my rule. I watched the first 5 episodes. At the end of like the first episode, I was already so fucking bored. I wanted to start playing games on my phone. But I powered through. Got through episode 2. Didn't give a shit. Episode 3. No fucks given. Episode 4. Wanted to take a nap. Episode 5. Okay, fuck this. I'm out. And god damn it, I fucking hated this anime. Like, it was so boring to me. And now keep in mind, I've watched anime from all different genres. I've watched romance, I've watched action, adventure, sci-fi, lifelike, action. I've watched all of them, and I have favorites in all of them. This anime for me just fucking sucked. I'm not even gonna lie, it just sucked. So, hearing all these people like, oh man, this anime is so great, I either do one of two things. Either one, I tell the person, hey, you're full of fucking shit and you need to reevaluate your anime list. Or two, I just kind of play nice and, hope to God that they stop talking about it. Alrighty, guys. Up next, I have one I know I'm bound to get some shit for, and that's One Piece. Um, I could not get into this anime. I tried. I really tried. Like, I even bypassed my own 5 episode rule. Like, I watched the entire first season, and I did not fucking give a shit. I didn't. I don't find the story interesting. I don't find, well, anything interesting, really. And the art style for me just hurts. It just hurts. Like, now granted, I know, like the art style itself, sometimes it's for somebody, sometimes it's not. But you can still have a great anime and a not so great art style. I understand that. I understand that completely. But This anime for me just did not do it. I've tried two other times to sit down and get into it, and I still just can't. All right, up next we have another one I'm bound to get shit for, and that's Fairy Tale. Um, I don't fucking give a shit about this anime. I really don't. Like I did my 5 anime rule. I sat there, tried to pay attention. Figured out who's who and what's what and where they are and what's going on and everything. And this anime reminds me of like the typical classic cartoons. That I grew up with as a kid. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter how big and bad the enemy or the boss or whatever is. The main character is always going to overcome. Like he follows the Goku rule. That's the thing is he follows the Goku rule, and I'm not a fan of that. I think that like if you're gonna have like a super OP hero, awesome. By all means, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't just do the whole thing where oh, he gets into a fight, he starts getting his ass kicked. So then he powers up, he does one signature move, and boom, the fight's dead. Like, that's pretty much the sequence that every single major fight goes down in this anime. And it's so boring and it's so bullshit that, like, at the end of my 5th episode, the only thing I could say to myself was, like, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm glad that that's over with. Up next, we have another one that I'm bound to get some shit for. Especially from one of my brothers, as well as some other people that I know, and that would be YuGiOh. I've watched YuGiOh. I've played YuGiOh. I never really got into the card game. One of my younger brothers actually played it on, I think, the Pro Tour for a while, and he's absolutely amazing at it. I really, really enjoyed a lot of the video game versions of it. I didn't really get into the card game that big. I love the art. I love the concept. But the anime overall, like, I just don't care. You have your typical hero with fucking multiple personality disorder, and then you have your main villain, which is like, an 80s cartoon villain. Like, he's always yelling and screaming and, oh, I'm bigger and better and richer than everybody. It's like, come on, guy. I don't fucking give a shit. Like, make it interesting. Character development, not in this one. Major plot lines, not gonna find it here. But we have monsters. And everything has to be settled with a card battle. But I just... This was not for me. It really was. And I've tried since. Like, since this has come out, I have tried to sit down and rewatch this. And it's almost like it's worse now than it used to be. So, for me, guys, this was not one of them. And if you want to get at me, by all means, please. Tell me what you think about any of these. Tell me your opinions. Am I in the right? Or do you think that I'm wrong? Like, maybe I didn't watch far enough? Or, what have you? Like, let me know in the comments below, definitely. Alright, guys, and there we have it. Those are in my opinion, at least, those are anime that I think are way too overrated. And it's not to say that I think they're overrated as a whole. They have their own fans, which is totally cool. They're not, I guess, bad anime in their own right. It's just not for me. I know that, like, Attack on Titan. My sister-in-law is a huge fan of Attack on Titan, and that's cool. Good for you. I'm glad you have an anime that you enjoy, but for me, it's a dumpster fire rolling downhill into a pond of napalm. Like, I don't fucking care. Same with Demon Slayer, YuGiOh, Black Butler, any of them. Like, I don't care. I've tried. I've legitimately tried watching these, and it's not gonna happen. It's not my thing. It's not for me. But, guys, if you have a different opinion, let me know. Put it in the comments below. Do you think I'm right about some of these? Do you think that I didn't watch far enough into the series on some of these? Do you think that I'm just looking at it from a different perspective? Maybe I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot, I guess. But guys, let me know what's going on. Let me know your favorites. Let me know the ones that you think are completely overrated. I've seen a lot of people talk about like how they think Naruto is overrated. I love Naruto. First season, not so much. Not until at least the what is it, the tuning exams. Then I think it started getting really good. But like Shippuden, I thought Shippuden was fucking amazing. But there's a bunch of other animes out there, and that's a great thing is that there is an anime for everybody. It doesn't matter what kind you like. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. There's an anime out there for you. But for me, I think that these are just too overrated. Guys, until next time, I'm IronBusiness01. Thank you guys for watching. I love all the support. I thank you very, very much for everything that y'all do for us. But until next time, guys, please take care of each other, help each other, love one another, and above all else, be good humans. See you guys next time.